The year is 2008. E3 opens its doors to the gaming masses to peek and play the games of tomorrow. With the generation of consoles at the time having been in stores for 2 years, I was really excited to see what these machines were really capable of.
Now it's safe to say that Nintendo's always there to deliver the goods. So many cherished and beloved characters, this would be their year. This would be their moment! Well, there's always next year, I said to myself. And who knows, maybe something at Tokyo Game Show may...
This looked awesome. It was brilliant to see a developer taking a risk and not being afraid to try something that hadn't been done before. It was new, it was exciting, and it was fresh. Mirror's Edge is an action-adventure platforming game with an emphasis on using parkour to traverse a sprawling utopian city. You'll spend most of your time running, jumping, climbing, swinging, falling to your death, and vaulting to reach your destination. The powers that be enforce just about whatever they want, whilst monitoring all communications and surveillance throughout the city. And these guys don't fuck about. When the people protested about these laws being passed, they retaliated by opening fire, killing many in the process.
After that, everyone's like, whoa, easy there, no, we were just joking. Here's my phone number, my email address, and my miniature pet giraffe's name is Larry. Just, please, just don't shoot my face.
You play as Faith, a runner who makes a living by scrambling across the city's rooftops, delivering confidential information to those who don't want to be held down by the man! Faith, along with her police officer sister Kate, are framed for murdering mayor candidate Robert Pope, who is opposed to the government's strict regime. Kate is arrested, and it's up to Faith to get to the bottom of this conspiracy. Now, the first thing you'll notice about Mirror's Edge is just how freaking gorgeous it is, thanks to its minimalistic yet extremely effective art style. The city's rooftops mainly consist of blown out whites with rich dark blues, along with splashes of orange just for good measure. As you head to other areas, the colour scheme changes drastically, from underground passages with pink neon lighting, zesty lime green office interiors, fire red warehouses.
It's like a goddamn Dulux catalogue. Ooh, this shade of blue will go lovely in my panic room. No, Henry, I don't want to hoover. Not after last time.
Every inch of the city looks stunning, and you'll never get tired of admiring the views even when the world is passing you by.
Compared to other games in the first-person genre, Mirror's Edge sets itself apart by giving you a true sense for what it feels like to actually become this character.
The first-person camera follows Faith's every leap, stumble, and roly-poly perfectly, adding a real sense of immersion. You can even look down and see Faith's body mimic your inputs, a trait that isn't utilised enough in the first-person genre, quite honestly. Combine this with a lack of heads-up display, you can solely focus on traversing the city. The key to success in Mirror's Edge is building and maintaining momentum. A perfectly executed roll at the end of a jump, or sliding under obstacles whilst running, allows you to stay at a steady pace. But make one mistake and your momentum is lost, and you have to build it back up again.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that before.
Faith's momentum can also be used as a weapon. A flying kick whilst going full pelt, or performing a wall kick, will stun enemies long enough for you to disarm them and move on quickly. And you will want to move on quickly if there are multiple enemies. Yeah, up yours, Rozzers!
Now I hear what you're saying. If they come at me, I'm just going to use some of my sweet free-flying karate chop action figure shit. Well...
The combat is awkward. Taking on multiple enemies becomes an uncoordinated, clunky mess of a scuffle. The controls hold up well during the parkour elements of the game, but playability during the encounters feels like an afterthought. Whilst attacking, my impulse was to adjust my position, as the camera movements made me feel as though I was physically moving, when all I was doing was double fisting a man's face. You do have a bullet time mechanic to assist with enemy takedowns and weapon disarms, but other games do it much better.
And speaking of weapons...
Shooting is extremely basic. You obtain weapons from enemies and are limited to the ammo that's already loaded. Holding your weapon drastically slows your movements, and you can't perform any parkour moves whilst equipped with a weapon. I mean, yeah, running with a shotgun or a sniper rifle would slow you down a bit, but a fucking handgun? Do the police carry pistols that are long-lost cousins of Mjolnir? Combat as a whole feels like it's along for the ride, which is a real shame.
All negatives aside, this game really accentuates its positives better than most games I've played. Whilst the combat mechanics are questionable, the real enjoyment here is through reaching your objectives.
Making your way across this beautiful city is just so much fun. The environment is essentially one giant puzzle that you have to solve using the best of Faith's abilities. So many games today focus on the action that getting to the big fight feels like a nonchalant stroll down the shops to pick up the paper. The action may take a step to one side in Mirror's Edge, but the adventure is the star of the show here. Nowadays we are subjected to yearly releases of sequels after prequels that barely build upon their predecessors. By basing its key game mechanic on something as simple as getting from point A to point B, such a joy, I can't help but crack a smile whenever I go back for more. It plays like nothing else and stands tall on its own.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love this game so much. Hell, I even bought the iOS game, and for a side-scroller that only cost a couple of quid, it's fun for what it is. And that's not the only game in the franchise.
Faith's next-gen debut was finally announced at E3 2013, and at this year's E3 it was officially titled Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it looks smashing. As excited as I am for this game, I do have some concerns. EA have a tendency to take a great franchise and dumb them down for a more casual audience, and it has blown up in their face a number of times. But from the gameplay footage we've seen so far, it seems to stay true to its roots whilst building a grander experience than the original.
I really hope that Mirror's Edge doesn't fall into this vicious EA cycle, but there are definitely aspects of the game that can be improved to cater to both fans of the original and casual players. I guess we just all need to have a little bit of faith.
Thanks for watching this episode of Likey. Enjoyed the video? Then why not give it a like and leave a comment below? If you never want to miss an episode, then please hit that subscribe button. You can also check out some of my previous videos by clicking on the annotations here. Till next time, my preserves.